So I spent the better part of yesterday trying to figure out why we had such bullish news or such really, really good news for crypto. We have a government that stands behind crypto that's doing great things for crypto or trying to do great things for crypto. And we didn't have a market pump because of it. So I'm going to talk about why I think this is and what people missed in that Senate Banking Committee meeting and why I think this market is different and why I also think we won't have an alt season like you've been used to. And one other thing I'm going to talk about very briefly is that MicroStrategy is no more. So let's get right into it. This MicroStrategy piece will just knock out first. They've changed their name to Strategy. And one thing, their earnings came out last night, way worse than expected, but there's a big, because of the accounting rules changes, there's going to be a big change on their books, a $12.75 billion change after adopting the new accounting rules. So everything's going to look way different moving forward for Strategy. MicroStrategy, I guess they just didn't want us to think small. So just very interesting news. Michael Saylor, huge advocate for Bitcoin, one of the biggest owners of Bitcoin. And, I wish him great luck. Let's go into this other piece. The Senate Banking Committee, I think a lot of people did miss this. I know I did a podcast on it or whatever this is called, a vlog, a video on it yesterday. But I really thought about this and I'm like, gosh, this is huge. And I think, let's just play this.
We're excited about working with both the House and Senate on stablecoin legislation. I know Senator Haggerty introduced a bill today. This stablecoins really have the potential to ensure American dollar dominance internationally, to increase the usage of the U.S. dollar digitally as the world's reserve currency, and in the process create potentially trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries, which could lower long-term interest rates. So let me stop there.
So look, a lot of people don't understand this, and this is the key. One of the key things is that right now there's a war being waged. Most people don't realize that there's a war being waged between us and other major nations in the world. You had BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, I don't know what Argentina maybe, I don't know. BRICS, but there's a couple of countries in the BRICS, and they wanted to undermine the dollar. The dollar is one of the biggest reasons why the US is so strong. It's not just the military, it's the dollar. And if you listen to what he just said, stablecoins, people think, that's boring. I can't invest in stablecoins. Well, there are ways to invest in stablecoins, or at least the infrastructure around them for some people. But more importantly, if the stablecoin has better legislation and things are being, the dollar is still the main point of the stablecoins, whether it's pegged to the dollar or backed by the dollar 1-to-1, that the stablecoins provide an on-ramp for people. It's hard to buy crypto without buying stablecoins at first, or people go back and forth between stablecoins. More money in stablecoins means more liquidity, more market cap for crypto altogether. That's one piece of it. The other piece is that if they use stablecoins, you heard about the Treasury piece. Well, Treasury is basically a bond, and the higher the price of the bond, the lower the yield. So it drives when you drive the interest rates. When you drive the price of a bond up, it drives down the yield or the interest rate on that vehicle. And this might allow the US to be wildly prosperous at low interest rates without lots of inflation, and will have low taxes. That's a theory, but it's one that holds true. This has huge implications. And then if things are tokenized like treasuries, then there's just more money on chain, and the dollars on chain means strength for the dollar and great for our country. So this is big. They see this now. It's their eyes are open. Now, those people out there that didn't understand this, that's okay. But I think there's a bigger problem at play. The bigger problem at play is that the reason why this didn't pumps are happening on bad news, not good news I've seen. And it's like the market's just waiting for bad news. They're so scared that they just can't wait to sell because they think this is the top. Oh, we're at the top. That we didn't get a Bitcoin reserve. The US didn't announce buying 1 million Bitcoin. Well, they couldn't have done that without approval anyway. I don't believe that can be an executive order. I think they have to get a bill and a vote on that. So that's going to take a little bit of time. But they said this is their priority. Number 1 is a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Number 2 is a stable coin. And number 3 seemed like clarity, regulatory clarity. So I know I've talked about this in a couple of videos already, but I feel it necessary to continue because I don't think people saw this. That being said, we are in a completely different market than we've been in. People say there is no altcoin or altcoin season's dead. Let me just remind you of one thing. Is that this is the last year. Look at XRP up 374, Ondo 499. Let's see, what else do we have here? Pepe almost 1,000%, XTC 115, Sui 128, Virtuals 2,227. Some of these things have gone down. AVAX down 25%. Poll, God, I can't. I just still want to call it. What's it called? Like the old one. Polkadot down 32%. Atom down 51%. Some coins have realized significant gains and some haven't. We're getting to a normalized market with lots of choices. There's like 3 or 4 million coins out there. How are you going to decide where to put your money? And there's only so much money, right? So I think what we're seeing right now is that there's no more money unless we bring new users in. There's no more money. The people that are out of money, they've put everything they've got in, and there's not a lot of new users coming in. That's why I think this stablecoin is so important to get people using it. Maybe there's going to be easier ways to on-ramp your money. It's going to become less expensive, more wide stream. Banks are going to get involved. All this groundwork is being laid right now. That's why I'm still super bullish. It's going to be a rocky road. It will be a rocky road from here until when things do blast off, but not everything is going to blast off. That's the thing that I don't think people realize, is that some things are going to blast off and some things aren't. Just like in the stock market, it's going to be very similar. Once you have as much money into a market, it starts to normalize. And 1,000% gains, while possible, aren't necessarily likely unless you have a brand new coin that has real world use or some kind of means that it might blast off. But the rest, not everything is going to pump. I know I'm not going to be very popular for saying this, and I don't care because it's the truth. We're normalizing in this market. So that being said, look, Senate Banking Committee meeting was very impactful. David Sachs said some things that were, very monotone, and he's probably not the best speaker out there, and it's probably not that exciting. But what he said had a lot of impact. So go back and listen to that if you have time, or just listen to me, though. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do by any stretch of the imagination. Do your own research, read the terms of service. Read my disclosures down below, read the terms of service of anything you get involved in, and make sure you understand the risks that are outlined. I'm just giving you an outline of clarity on this market. This market is not going to pump forever. Not every coin will. Some coins will pump, some will dump. You have to do your research. You have to find the ones that make sense to you, not to me. Don't listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you, but do your own research to understand what you want to do and what's right for you. But that being said, there's a lot of bullish things happening in this market. It just might take some time for them to work themselves out. So that's all I got. I hope you got some kind of value from this little video today. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe, share, and I will see you next time.